The city has a way of being gentle enough to make you feel in love, even when your heart has just shattered into tiny pieces. I sit here, surrounded by the scent of old paper and thick sorrow, trying to find some remnant of myself within pages I have yet to read. The silence of the cafe is heavy, filled only with the rhythmic patter of rain and the distant, ghost-like melody of a slow, melancholy piano track. There are words trapped in this envelope that will never reach their destination, just like the feelings I have kept locked away in my own chest. In this familiar space, I feel like a ghost haunting my own life, disconnected from the world that continues to move effortlessly outside these glass walls. Every book on these shelves tells a story of someone else's journey, while mine feels like it has come to a sudden and very painful halt. Then she walked in, bringing the chill of the rain with her, yet carrying a warmth in her smile that seemed to defy the grey afternoon sky. She appeared like a sudden, unexpected stroke on my monochromatic draft, offering no grand introduction, just a quiet and very calm presence in this lonely room. She moved through the space with a grace that felt natural, as if she belonged here just as much as the old books and the cedar scent. She asked to share the table because the cafe was full, and I nodded without a word, too exhausted to refuse the company of a complete stranger. We sat in silence for a moment, two islands in a sea of coffee steam and whispered conversations, bound by nothing but a shared wooden table. Instead of a phone or a book, she produced a sketchbook, its edges worn and pages thick, with the potential of 1,000 untold and hidden stories. She didn't start drawing immediately, but rather looked at the world with eyes that seemed to see more than just the surface of things around her. There was a softness in her gaze that felt like a quiet invitation, an unspoken promise that she was someone who truly knew how to listen. She proposed a game, a strange and beautiful pretense to bridge the gap between us, asking me to pretend she was someone from my past. "Tell me the things you never got to say," she whispered, her voice a soothing balm against the sharp edges of my many lingering and painful regrets. Under the safety of this fake identity, I found the courage to speak, the words spilling out like a river that had finally broken its long-standing dam. I told her about the scent of hair in the morning and the trivial arguments that now seem so precious in the cold light of our final ending. I spoke of the weight of being left behind, the heavy silence of an empty apartment, and the many questions that were left forever without an answer. While I talked, she worked, her pencil capturing the rhythm of my voice and the hidden shapes of the grief I was finally letting go of today. The sound of the pencil was a steady heartbeat, a grounding force that kept me present even as I drifted back into the shadows of my memories. I wasn't looking at my coffee anymore. I was looking into the eyes of a stranger who was holding my pain without flinching or turning away. For the first time in months, the air felt lighter, as if by sharing these heavy secrets, I was finally beginning to breathe again on my own. The world outside was changing, the storm losing its grip, just as the turbulence inside my own heart was starting to find a sense of peace. She turned the book toward me, not with a portrait of my sadness, but with a vision of something I hadn't seen in myself for years. It was a sketch of freedom, a reminder that I was more than my scars, and that my future was still a blank page waiting to be written. The lines were fluid and full of life, capturing a version of me that was no longer burdened by the heavy weight of things left unsaid. The physical touch of the paper felt real and grounding, a tangible proof that someone had seen the potential for happiness still hidden deep within me. In that moment, the realization hit me like a wave of warmth. I didn't have to carry their silence anymore. I could finally choose to be free. "You are not defined by the endings you didn't choose," she seemed to say, "but by the new beginnings you are brave enough to create yourself." I thanked her, not just for the drawing, but for the space to be vulnerable and the chance to see myself through much kinder, stranger eyes. The cafe felt different now, no longer a hiding place from the rain, but a sanctuary where a healing transformation had quietly and beautifully taken place. I left a small token of gratitude, a simple note to acknowledge the miracle of our meeting and the profound impact of her unexpected kind gesture. She was gone as quickly as she had arrived, leaving behind a piece of art that would serve as my compass in the days to come. I stepped toward the exit, my heart no longer a heavy stone, but a light feather, ready to catch the wind and fly once again. The city was awake and vibrant, and for the first time in a very long time, I felt like I was truly a part of it. I am walking into my own future now, carrying the sketch of my freedom in my pocket and the strength of a stranger's kindness in my soul. The rain has stopped, and a new story begins today. Thank you, stranger, for listening to the things I thought were impossible to ever say aloud.